leaderboard plays have been hitting big this past week, and we wanted to recap the recent action. Big T led the way with a 150K PGA shipper to start the week. Tony shared his early guy player pool in the premium Discord before lock, benefiting our members and peppering the leaderboards with RPS logos.
Oh, Stevie Boyden called me a dickhead too? You didn't say that part, man. I just saw that in there.
Hoop followed up in MLB with a 100K hit of his own. Hoop hit with his core, which went off for our subscribers as well. Finally, Draft Cheat added a big 50K single bullet hit of his own in the MLB afternoon slate, and we got to witness him sweating out the final moments live on our premium final countdown show.
Yes. There it is.
There we go, DC.
DC with the shit.
That's what we do, baby. What was the total? How much total did you have in?
$47 to win.
$47? That's going to be a legendary screenshot.
The Discord was on fire with members riding with DC, proving once again nobody comes close to picking winners like the Run Piers squad.
It was the core on the site too, obviously, because you only played because of that. So the members had to smash too.
Oh yeah, I saw a bunch of members up there.
Our subscriptions are more valuable than ever with our Premium Print Fest Friday Night Fireworks, where we broadcast all of our shows for members only every Friday. And speaking of members, congrats to all of our members who have been crushing it in July. Nika hit for 14K in MLB, TAJ 50-50 hit for 25K in MLB, Nuggets 33 had a 20K shipper in MLB, Michael Smith hit for 20K in MLB too. Finally, T-Zur joined the party, shipping a 20K hit of his own. Meanwhile, Nico H22 hit for 10K in NBA Summer League DraftKings contest with an assist from the great content Rubio and Kurt Jones have been providing. If you haven't subscribed yet, get it now by using the promo code RPSHeater25 to knock 25% off your first payment on a weekly or monthly subscription. Get it now and find out why our logos are consistently all over the leaderboard.
All right, what's up, jabronis? Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great crew today. Our boy AP is here. He's going to tell us all about the Royals players that no one's ever heard of because no one's going to Canada. Screw Canada. And hello, Mangone. Wonderful to see you today. What's going on, pal? You're very quiet pre-show. You usually are, though. Talk to me here. How's your mental health?
Things are good. We're playing Summer League DFS, right? So we got some news that'll be coming during the show. So if I do ignore you or brush you off around the 30 mark, Holden, that is why I did that, okay? So so we got Summer League going on. Golf, or as JSU likes to call it, the Galf, that's been going on so far. People are enjoying that sweat. And we got some baseball today, obviously, with some really bad pitching, some really good pitching as well. So should be fun to break it all down. Lots of offenses to discuss and lots of pitchers to discuss as well.
You know, Mangone just took it to another level, AP. This is so brilliant. If I'm not paying attention at 30 after, now you know what? I'm just going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get on every show and be like, hey, guys, if I'm not paying attention to you, don't worry about it. It's not that I didn't hear you.
Holden, the game.
I was just looking at the
right? We get distracted. We forget what's going on sometimes. I will admit, if it's around 28-29, and this Pistons lineup needs some adjusting, I'm definitely going to have to make some adjustments. I'm going to say that right now.
What's up, AP? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too. I got a lot of faith, though. I mean, Mangone, one of the elite multitaskers out there in the industry, just on another level. It's crazy. So, Mangone, like, I know everyone's been like kicking ass in summer league and stuff. I still I couldn't even tell you like who's playing. I just haven't been able to look at it.
I haven't been able to play every day, but like I just started getting into it because like I like it, but like you have to be like, you can't have a day where you're out and doing something. Like if you go out like that night, you can't play, like just impossible. So like, that's the thing. You have to be able to be locked in, and early slate, I felt like I could get locked in enough. And I was like, the only time that's going to run to is on the show, and we'll just make the quick adjustments and call it a day. But summer league's been good. Big T's crushing it. Kurt's been doing some Twitter spaces as well. So if you want to check those out, feel free to check those out. And he's been in the Discord chat grinding for the people.
Now, here's the deal, and I was very proud of you guys yesterday. 300 likes or no play of the day. I mean, I've been telling you guys that, and I'm glad that Mangone took a stand yesterday. Whoever was hosting with you guys, you just said, screw it. If you're not going to show us love, we're not going to show you love. So the subscribers, we got Fireworks Friday coming up for you, so don't hold your like back. Let's get that going so I don't have to read this freaking thing. I'm sweating out the Rockies' first 5 against the Padres. Let's go Rockies. And then we got this game to do. And Mangone, what time does the slate lock for the NBA?
Holden, it's already locked, but this is what happens. Every time there's a new game,
late.
you got to adjust for the lineups.
Too late. So yeah, I need
it's
a
an
haircut
all-night
today.
event. It's just like you remember the NBA streets, Holden. I mean, that's how it is every night.
All right. I didn't know if it was different, if they got a different slate tonight, but
we do have a main slate, Holden. So if you want to check out the content, Kurt's got a playbook up. He's got core plays as well. It's at 7:30 Eastern, I believe. So once your baseball stuff's done, if you want to jump into summer league, but again, lock is at 7:30, but you have to kind of update every hour because just news keeps flying in.
It's all about the news when you're betting summer league, when you're playing DFS, it's all about the news, just like the NBA. Duh. Okay, let's go, AP. I want to get some of your thoughts on this slate here. We'll do our members never win segment after pitching. Mangone will check out in about 39 minutes. This show is going to be absolutely amazing. So, AP, I'm looking here at DraftKings. There are so many ways to go, at least for me, for pitching today, because I know you're going to mention Burns and the guy he's going against tonight. Really, you can look at the whole top shelf there. I'm trying to focus in a little bit cheaper, maybe a little Tristan McKenzie action, maybe some Gosman action. And I don't know if I can find anybody down low. So, I mean, give me the whole rundown here for pitching. Lots of different ways to attack it.
Yeah, I mean, the one spot that's going to, really stand out today is Gosman going against the Royals, putting out a AAA lineup. It's going to be a very popular spot. Fair price tag. 3-4 xFIP, a solid 28% strikeout rate, good command. I mean, man, like he could absolutely just shove against this lineup. I will say, like, he's going to be popular at that price tag. The Royals, like, the one thing that they can be at times is pesky, and they're all young guys. They do have Bobby Witt, who's been good. Olivares is fine. Nick Prado, he's a guy that has some power. It's, looking at AAA numbers. So, but still, he's such a good play tonight. So I think that's one of the obvious plays. Then we got Carlos Rodon, we got Corbin Burns, kind of a late night pitching duel there in, at a very friendly park, the Giants Stadium. Corbin Burns just looks phenomenal. Rodon also looks phenomenal. So those three guys are ones that I'm looking at quite a bit. Then my other one, in this top tier range, Framber Valdez, just this Angels lineup does not look good at all. I believe it just came out. I believe no Trout in there. So we just have more, a bunch of shitty bats and a lot of strikeout upside there. So, and I think he had a good outing the last few times that he's seen him, and I expect him to have a good outing tonight. So for me in the top range, it's pretty clear cut. It's those four guys. It's Burns, it's Valdez, it's Rodon, and it's Gosman.
No cheapies, man. No cheapies. Just it hurts.
You want me to talk about the cheapies?
I mean,
or we just talking about
that. Mangone will do that.
I mean, yeah, it's like,
if you're not on it, don't worry about it.
Okay, no, but hold on. Don't you think this feels like an upside at pitch? I think it's both. It's you want upside from pitching, and then you want one of these stacks that's just going to go absolutely nuclear tonight. Yeah. And we're going to be able to make it work. We're going to be able to make it work. Very confident in that.
You don't want to go to Angel Zerpa for his 2 innings this evening.
No, he's not good. And we'll talk about that spot when it comes to
hold on game. Just real quick.
Have you seen the relievers that they have tonight?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm so angry because last night I was on Toronto was totally just narrative. And now you got to get on Toronto, not just because of narrative, they fired their manager, because they're going up against literally AAA players tonight, AA players, AAA players tonight. So they're going to be super owned. Maybe you got to get different at pitching, but we can always get different at baseball. If you're not a subscriber, what you get behind the paywall, I'll be hosting today, DC and Stevie Boyton. You get behind the paywall, there's so much strategery that these guys are talking about. It's like, sure. Oh, I don't want to play the chalk tonight. Well, you could play the chalk and get different or 2 or 3 pivots. So a lot of good strategy behind the paywall. Mangone, hello, my friend. Let's talk some pitching here. Do you, besides for the top guys, and I'd like to start there, is there anybody that you look at besides for the top 5 or 6 guys? Maybe you could start with McKenzie on down.
I'm going to start from McKenzie on down or McKenzie on up?
Down, lower, because we know everybody's on the high stuff.
Okay.
I want to know if you're going lower tonight, is there anybody below McKenzie?
The only guy I really like is McKenzie there. The one other option I would consider is Carlos Carrasco against the Cubs, I guess, just because this Cubs lineup's not that great, right? Like, I'm not fearing this lineup. It's a pretty low total there too. It's a 7.5 total, 70 degrees, winds blowing in 10 miles an hour. So that's pretty ideal. And I think that Carrasco's in play, 4.5K prop, but I don't really want to go down below McKenzie. That's kind of my issue on this slate. So that'd be the one guy maybe I'd go to. The other option I would suggest is, if you don't want to go Carrasco at 7.6, I guess you can make the case for Cutter Crawford. He's got a 5.5K prop. It is juiced on the under a little bit, but he's only 6.8K. And when you have a 5.5 strikeout prop at 6.8K, and then you get to go against Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay, yes, the Tampa offense has been hitting better, but you do get a good ballpark. And I know kind of taking pictures in this ballpark has not been as ideal as of late, but I do think Cutter Crawford could be in play if you wanted a different construction. I just don't think it's the right day to do it, Holden. I think the best route today is going up for your pitchers, grabbing like a Burns or a Rodon, then grabbing like a Gausman or a McKenzie. You can grab a Burns and Rodon if you'd like, but then it gets a little difficult. It just depends on your full construction. Then I want to grab in one big 5-man stack that I like that has some value mixed in. And then I want that value 3-man stack. I think that's the best way to construct lineups. And listen, I would say going cheap at pitcher would make some sense if the DraftKings algorithm allowed it to, right? If Corbin Burns was 12.2K, like he was like maybe last year or 2 years ago, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. If Carlos Rodon was like 11 like K, then you'd be forced to do that. But that's the problem with the algorithm. It doesn't force you to do that. So all I think we have to do is grab between those 4 pitchers if you like. There's other pivots that you can go to, like Nestor Cortez. I think he's a contrarian pivot against the Reds that can easily get the job done. Luis Castillo, very similar. Obviously, it's not a great ballpark, but those are options you can go to. If you want to pivot off Burns or Rodon, you can go to Valdez. But I just don't think I need to do that. I just think I can easily make my pitching pool where it's at. Carlos Rodon, Kevin Gausman, Tristan McKenzie, and then Corbin Burns. And then I'm pretty good there. So that's kind of my current setup right now. And then you just got to mix and match them the right ways, like to make it a little bit different.
What's going on FanDuel? Like, we could play whoever we want. Just who's the one guy then? Is it Burns? Is it Rodon? Is it Valdez?
On FanDuel, I think it's Rodon just because of the price. Let me pull it up here. I did the cash chart earlier, and on the cash chart, I made sure it was Rodon, I believe, just because I liked his pricing compared to the others. Yeah, he's 10.9, Burns 11.3. Gausman is cheaper at 10.1, but I think you're fine to go Rodon and it'll work out. And there's enough value at certain positions where I think you're able to pull it off. I did this earlier though, and I want to see what all the starting lineups are. So they're probably, starting to trickle all in finally. So I'll have to readjust that a little bit, but it does seem like that's probably the best route to go, is going Rodon for that $400 savings. But again, there's lots of pitchers to like over on FanDuel. Like, it's you only have to take one pitcher too. So if it's Gausman, it could easily be him at 10.1. I think he's perfectly fine. You could go down to McKenzie at 9.3 if that savings matters, but I just don't think it's going to matter that much for me. Like, I think you can easily get in those other bats and I'll be perfectly fine with it.
All right, here's the deal. We got a couple things to talk about now because we're done with pitching. First of all, where are we here? 132, not bad. We just started the show. We're 15 minutes in. We're on pace for 300, but no more plays of the day unless you get to 300. That's the first thing. Second of all, now maybe I should address this on the premium show, but Tony's not going to be there. Yesterday on the premium show, just before lock. Now Tony's all over Severino, and I said Moustakas, Votto, the Reds. Why? And everybody that had Severino, which was everybody, like last night watching Up to Lock, is blaming me. To which I will just say, it's your shitty lineup. It's not my fault. Again, we could say I don't believe in jinxes. It's witchcraft. They'd have burned you at the stake back in Salem all those years ago. So chill out, okay? Nothing I said had to do anything with it. I'm probably going to hear from Tony today anyways, And to Tony, I say the same thing to you. Wasn't my fault. Second of all, members do win, though, unless you played Severino last night. But you got hurt. What are you going to do? Nika, repping the ladies. Let's do members never win. What up, Nika? She hits for $14K in Major League Baseball. She must have played the Blue Jays last night. Or the Reds. Taj 50-50, $25K. Our dudes are hitting here. And dudettes. Nuggets. Come on. What do you expect from Nuggets? $20K. Michael Smith, $20K. I mean, these are all baseball hits. Teaser, $20K. And this is all within what? The last week at the most, last few days. So we got a $14K, 3 20Ks, and a $25K winner. And this is baseball alone. Baseball alone. Members never win, right? Nico, 22, 10K in the NBA Summer League. Must have been hanging out with Mangone at half past the hour. Wonderful. Uncle T, our boy, gets 15K. I haven't talked to Uncle T. I only congratulated him through text. Uncle T, I don't know if you're out there. You're probably working. Congrats, dude. DC won $50,000 off of $47. Not $47,000, $47. Like, he plays my bankroll and he won 50K. Congrats. And my Cox, 100K in something. What do you win 100K in? Do you know? It just says 100K. You won it in something. Oh, shocker. PGA. Our PGA team's so ridiculous. It's not even funny. All right. Hey, before we get here, I'm going to, AP, I'm going to take the scoring a run in the first inning for the Blue Jays tonight. Do you think that's a good idea? Because if we're going to break down all the offenses here, we need to start with the Royals, though. We got to start with the Royals. So talk to me. This is your boys. They've got a whole bunch of dudes that nobody's heard of because they have to, because Canada, Trudeau, they're screwing with us. Sebastian Rivero, Nathan Eaton, I'm not going to say the C word, and Nick Prado, Vinny Pasquantino, Emmanuel Rivera. I mean, this is dog shit. This is a AAA lineup, to say the best. So talk to me here. How do we hit? We know Gosman's got a shot. Can anybody on this Royals team hit if I need to save some money?
I mean, Nick Prado, the guy I talked about, but this is a AAA lineup outside of Bobby Witt, who's an absolute stud. Man, this is just like one of those spots tonight where it's like the best. Like, it's such a good, we got the roof open. They got a terrible bullpen. The guys that they're rolling out tonight after Zerpa, who's terrible, Jackson Kowar, potentially Wyatt Mills, Joel Pamps or something is the name. Like, these guys are terrible. They're so bad. I think the Blue Jays are going to absolutely murder them. I think it's going to be, right from the get-go. So, yeah, I do like that because I don't think Zerpa is going to last long. He's not good. It could be like one of those spots where they're forced to put an outfielder in there in the later innings, kind of like what we've seen, like the game we saw with the Yankees against the Pirates, where they were just throwing lob balls to them, in the 8th or 9th inning. And if that happens, it's just going to be, you're going to want that stack or exposure to that stack. So I like the Blue Jays lineup up and down. Kirky, Vlad, Springer, Bo, Hernandez, Lourdes, Chapman, Espinal, all of those guys. Danny Jansen probably won't get to it, but maybe he'd be the contrarian guy. But all these guys can hit, all have good power. It's going to be a good spot. Gets a lefty right out of the gate. So sign me up. And then, I don't know if you wanted to play some of these cheap Royals bats as a one-off. I would just target the power guys, Prado, O'Hearn, Emmanuel Rivera. I haven't looked at it fully when you're looking at position yet. So if there's a weak position someplace, that's where you could look at just like a power, catcher, a power one-off. Vinny, the Italian nightmare is what they call him. Vinny Pasquantino or whatever his name is. You could play him. They're all first base too. Go look at the Royals lineup. It's four first basemen.
You can't even stack them.
You can't even stack them. Stacks don't work. Play the Blue Jays tonight. They're gonna smash. I'm very confident about this spot for sure.
We'll figure out a way to get different. Hey, Mangone, what would it take for you to sprinkle in a couple Royals in a mini tonight to save some money or get different?
Yeah, I think I'm good. I'm not gonna sprinkle I mean, we could sprinkle someone else, right? Like, why do we have to sprinkle the Royals? Can't we sprinkle, I don't know, someone else that's like low?
Yeah, of course you can if you want. I'm just saying it's interesting. And then as far as the Blue Jays, and I'll probably go back again, but these guys are just set up. I mean, we got a bunch of jabronis going out there for the Royals. Last night, they were pissed off because their manager got fired and it was their fault. And I still think they're upset, man. I still think they're upset. So,
well, hold on. Just to go back to your point of sprinkling the Royals, I'll never sprinkle a 2.5 implied total. I think that's what they have today. I mean, it's bad. So it's not good. So you are going to need like a Royals type offense, I think, to sprinkle in as like mini stacks, right? That is going to have to happen if you do want to play the Blue Jays. If you look, the Blue Jays, yeah, they have some bottom of the order guys that provide some value. Espinal, 3.5K. Chapman, 3.6. Gurriel, 3.6. All good options. Obviously, if I'm playing the Jays, I want to be playing some Springer, Guerrero, Kirk, Bichette, and Hernandez. One thing you could do is, instead of playing Alejandro Kirk, right, play Danny Jansen, right? And that's just instantly going to make you different. He's 4.4K. Everyone's going to go Alejandro Kirk instead. So that's like a small way you can instantly make your stack unique. You can go to SaberSim right now, say 5-man Blue Jay stack, lock in your 2 favorite pitchers, maybe lock in like your Alejandro Kirk, and then lock in like your 2 other favorite Jays. Hit optimize whatever mini stack it gives you, and then just change Kirk out for Danny Jansen, or maybe put Danny Jansen in instead. But the point I'm getting at is there's ways to make this stack different. And also, I think a lot of people are going over to these Braves today too. So I think the ownership is going to be split up between them. And I think overall, Jays are the offense that I think are the best. Like, that's the one that I want to go to. If I had to pick one, let's say I was making a wager, Braves versus the Jays, I got the Jays today. That's the offense that I want to ride with. So that's the one that I'm riding with in DFS. You can play the Braves. I still think they're good plays too. Not saying I'm fading them, but if I had to pick, that's the one I want to be the most overweight on here on this slate. And there's many ways to make your lineup different throughout. And that roof's going to be open. I mean, it's just such a perfect spot where I agree with what AP was saying. I don't know if it was on the show or it was before the show, but we could see a position player out there just tossing the ball out there, throwing some meatballs across the plate.
Beautiful. That's exactly what we want.
Real quick, Mangone, doesn't this slate feel like that one Yankees Braves slate that like went nuts and all that? Like it sets up the same, like 2 really elite spots. There's some other ones tonight too, but it's like, yeah, it's going to be chalky, but there's ways, like you said, to get different. And that's what it took that night, just making some simple changes like that. The Danny Jansen call, it's pretty interesting. Everyone's going to play Kirk. Very few are going to play Jansen over him. So I like that move.
Donnie Johnson is my favorite too.
It has some similarities to that slate. The only argument I think I could make is I think there might be, I guess there are enough offenses that you can counter with. Like, it does feel like those 2 stand head and shoulders above the Jays and the Braves. And that other slate, it felt like there were maybe a couple more. But as we kind of go through it, there's at least one more offense I know that I want to talk about for sure. So that's the only thing I might argue is like there's like not as great alternatives as maybe that other slate was. But again, it's just such a good spot. And sometimes you have to think about what are your alternatives, right? And sometimes the alternatives are just like really bad. And you have to weigh what's the ownership versus that. And like, if you didn't have the Braves or the Jays on this slate, then you'd be really frustrated because the alternatives are not that great. And then you'd have so much ownership on one offense. So that's why it's kind of nice that these are getting spread out a bit for sure on the slate.
Okay. Where are we, guys? Where are we here? Remember, you got to get to 300 if you want the boys plays of the day. 373 watching, 162 on the likes. That's great. That's great. Drew, thank you very much. I did get a haircut today, so I appreciate that. Yes, the roof is open in Toronto. And again, all of you, it wasn't my fault. Again, do better or don't pick the guy that's going to get injured. That's all I can say. I'm going to be in a great mood tonight. I'm up to lock show because I'm working with 2 of my favorite people here. Okay. Let's get into these. Is Atlanta your offense to play tonight, Mangone? It's Atlanta at Washington. It's always nice and humid and warm out there. We got the Dirty Sanchez coming out for the start tonight. How do you not like Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta's in play. They're not like a bad option at all. You're going to have to make a decision, right? I don't think you can just sit here and play Jays and Braves and somehow get overweight on both and feel like you're going to make money on it. I mean, maybe you can find a way to like, you could try 5-3 stacks of like Braves and Jays and see what fits. But the problem is you might not get enough of those big bats. So I think that's going to be one of the debates. Like, I might like have some Braves, but like, it's really, I'm just picking the Jays over the Braves right now. It's just, that's how it is. So, and then I'm trying to figure out what mini stacks can fit. Of course, if I did want to play Braves as a mini stack, then I would look at the lineup and like, I would need some value in my mini stack. And here's the problem. Do I want to play 2.4K Robinson Cano as value? Am I dying to play that? I know second base isn't great, but I don't think that's something I'm trying to do. I do think Eddie Rosario is a great value play at 3.4K. Definitely someone that I think you should go to. Matt Olson at first base. That's the one thing that's nice about both these teams is like they have some positions that line up together that you have to make decisions, right? Like Bo Bichette, he's at shortstop. So is Dansby Swanson. The Braves have loaded outfield. So do the Jays. You got Travis d'Arnaud, and you got to decide between Alejandro Kirk or Danny Jansen. Then at first base, Matt Olson or Vlad. So this is why I think it's just going to spread these two out. If you told me one offense was going to be like the chalkiest one for sure, then I would gravitate to whichever one the other is. I think more people are going to go to the Braves than the Jays right now. Maybe I end up being wrong on that, but that's kind of my lean, and that's why I'm on those Jays over the Braves. I will have some of the Braves, but you definitely you just can't play Braves and Jays and move on. I don't think it's going to be that simple. There's other ways you're going to have to find a way to be different throughout your lineups.
Well, I mean, Mangone, we already talked about ways to be different. Just play Angel Zerpa at 4K, and then you can get every single bat you want. Look at AP just smirking up there. I love it.
I mean, all the leverage from Holden. Look at him over there. Just
yeah. Let's just go with the Sherpa, Angel Sherpa. We're going to take him to town. AP, I mean, look, Toronto's in a smash spot. My question is Atlanta in that spot?
Yeah, I mean, they get to go against Sanchez. Guy's 38 years old, hasn't pitched in like 2 years. Not good. I like, man, the Braves, such a good spot. I love the bottom of the order here too. I mean, now I'm not like, I don't love Robinson Cano, but hey, you got a 39-year-old hitter going against a 38-year-old pitcher. Maybe a little age narrative there. Maybe he gets one off of Sanchez. Maybe you got to look up that BVP. Maybe there's some history there between those two. Michael Harris, absolute stud. Eddie Rosario, I like where he's at in this lineup. Olson, love the lefties here. I think you can, if you just stack the bottom of this lineup up, there's gonna be ways to get different. So yeah, I have a ton of interest though in the Braves, just an all around really good spot, a team that can put up a huge number, and I think they get to them early. And I think we see 90 degrees. Are the winds blowing out a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit, but it's hot and humid, man. It's hot and humid all the time. It's 55, 65% humidity. It's perfect hitting conditions in Washington. I tell you this all the time. I've been to hundreds of games there. Just from an eye test. It's warm,
just like
small.
So, like, one thing you could do, like tonight's slate, you could stop at these two games that we talked about, go all in on these two spots. I mean, they're really, really strong spots, and mix and match pitching and get different that way. That's one route I see. Now, I do think we'll uncover a few pretty interesting spots elsewhere on this slate, but these two spots are just, they line up to be very good tonight.
All right, Butthole Jenkins. Don't forget to mention stolen base potential against Sanchez, who is terrible at holding runners. Okay. Got it, dude. Thank you, Butthole. Where are we? We got 183 and just 392 watching. You're doing great today on the likes. Maybe we'll get, if you guys get the 350, we're going to get 2 plays from Mangone. All right. 2 plays from Mangone. You get the 400, you get 2 plays from AP. So hopefully you guys have second place that are coming up. So like button would be nice. And let me just tell you what's going on here at RPS. I already talked to you about the members never win. Like, there have been 2 nights in the last week where everybody's just been crushing. Like you get the cores from these guys. AP gives us core. Mangone gives you a cash chart. Then we got all our other guys: Gary, Stevie Boynton, DC. Big T has a whole. Fuck you, Rockies. Hold on, time out a second, man. Coors Field is driving me nuts.
What did you have wagered?
I got the Rockies first 5 on the money line. They're up 5-2. It's a home run and a double to start the 5th inning. It's just why do I even bet on these games? It's so stressful.
It'll be fine, Holden. Don't worry.
I know it will be. We're okay. Plus we got the up in the bottom of the 5th.
I hit my Blake Snell under on strikeouts. You're gonna hit your first 5 here. It's happening.
It's just because Blake Snell can't pitch here. But anyways, here's the other thing you get. You get Big T's player pool. So you see this in other sports too. He has his own page, and he gives you everybody in his actual player pool and his core. Where else are you getting this stuff? Rumpier Sports. If you want to add the bet side for free for a month, that's our code. Get bets. So it's pretty easy. Oh, Nate, it's fine. Don't even start with the same game parlay. Screw that shit. Keep doing that every day, you're dead. But I do want to know from DC later today if we have a single game parlay with stolen bases today against Sanchez. Okay, we move on to game number 2. AP, I hit you up first here. Cincinnati and the Yankees. Cincinnati's been hitting on the road. Hope they have a big lead tonight because the Yankees offense just continues to come back in these games. There's a difference tonight, though. We got Luis Castillo on the mound. We know Castillo has been a freaking stud. And then on the other side of things, Nestor Cortes has been pretty darn good too. I don't see this game just being an explosion. That being said, maybe you got a different thought on it.
Yeah, I mean, the Reds are kind of pesky right now. We saw that last night. We saw that in the last few series they've been in. And Nestor Cortes over the last 30 days has not been himself at all. 5.75 xFIP. Strikeout rate is down. He's given up a lot of hard contact for fly balls. And you got some guys in this. This is one of those spots where I'm only talking 3-man because I'm going to have 5-man Braves or Toronto in every build. And then my 3-man is going to be different. We can get different here with the Reds. Some of these guys profile very well against a lefty. Drury, Pham is even, hitting decent. Senzel is hitting good right now. There's a lot of bats in the Cincy lineup that I think are kind of interesting in the spot. I don't think they're going to be owned at all. And they've just been pesky and they're starting to hit the ball good. So I could get behind a Cincinnati mini stack tonight. The Yankees are not going to make it for me tonight. When we're talking full stacks, like I just said, I'm reserving them all for Braves and Blue Jays.
Okay. Mangone, Reds, Yankees.
Reds, Yankees. Not a game I'm dying to go to. Luis Castillo can give up home runs. So I wouldn't take some of these Yankees bats out of my lineup as one-offs. If I was MMEing, but not going out of my way to play these guys for sure. Not going to do a 3-man or a 5-man stack of this team. I just think that some of them are expensive, right? I guess if you did a 3-man, the problem is there's just not enough value guys from the bottom of the lineup, and they're all expensive up top. So for me, I'm just not on this game. We got to make some fades and spots. So fading the Yankees on the slate.
Some faders.
Oh, hold on real quick. I just got to say this. Look at the prices. Jonathan India, 3.3K. We got Tyler Stevenson. He's a little more expensive. Kyle Farmer, 2.8K. Shortstop. Nick Senzel, 2.6K. You got some nice bats there against lefties. That are really cheap. So that's going to be.
I don't mind it, AP. It's not bad. I think there's an offense later that we'll talk about, and I'll explain why I think I'd rather go there. But what is Cortez's ownership going to be? Because if it somehow leverages him a little, that does help, right? Kind of sink some of the field.
12%, 10%, something like that.
Okay, I don't. It's not incredible.
Maybe 15.
Gotcha. All right. Well, yeah, I don't mind. We have to find some unique cheap bat. So I see what you're doing, and it's not a bad ballpark. And Cortes has had his struggles against righties, right? So some of these cheap righties, you might be onto something here a little bit.
Just so you know, the weather in the Northeast is spectacular for hitting. About 90 in Washington, winds blowing out a little bit. Upper to mid 80s in New York, winds blowing out a bit. So you got those two games, and I'm really not seeing any great. Well, St. Louis has 92 degrees. All right, so I take it back. That's a pretty damn good spot to go. Winds blowing in 10 miles an hour at Wrigley today. So make sure you check the weather too. Get on that. And as always, I'll just remind you, the wind blowing out in San Francisco legitimately does not matter because they built that stadium to keep the wind out. So it could be 100 miles an hour. You're probably not going to get a huge bump there. Mangone. We already talked Kansas City, Toronto. So we'll move on to Boston, Tampa Bay. Rasmussen and Crawford, the pitching matchup today. By the way, couldn't Cutter Crawford just have a remarkable start against Tampa Bay the last time? I wonder if he can do that again, though. They've seen him now. Talk to me, Mangone. Red Sox, Rays. Can't imagine you got too much interest here.
Well, I think he could because it's in Tampa, right? And it's a 7 total. So, I'm just not down for 7 totals. Yeah. It's rare you're going to see me stack those up. So, yeah, I don't think this is the spot to go to on this thing. And I never load up on this park either. So, yeah, I'm out on this game. Not really what I'm interested in.
AP, Boston, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no, not a spot I'm going to get to. If anything, probably look at Cutter Crawford. I know I didn't talk about any cheap pitching options, but if I need it to make some of those big stacks that I want work, maybe I'd look at him. I'm definitely not playing bats in this spot though. Hate the park.
Come right back to you then. Detroit, Cleveland. Detroit, worst offense in baseball. Do you want to play any Cleveland tonight against Mr. Rodriguez? Elvin Rodriguez is going to go out there for 4 innings tonight. Hopefully get shelled. Can I just let me just read to you the last 2 games this dude has pitched. 4 1/3 innings, 11 hits, 10 runs, 4 home runs at the Yankees. Then against Toronto, 8 hits, 8 runs, all earned, 3 home runs. He's given up 7 home runs the last 2 games. Last time he faced Cleveland, 4 shutout innings. I don't know if that does anything for you, but man, Elvin Rodriguez has gotten tattooed. Great offenses, but completely tattooed in these last 2 starts.
Yeah. Those are bad numbers, really bad numbers. I mean, the Tigers, I mean, man, I can't, McKenzie, he does give up fly balls, hard contact, but this Tigers team is just bad. I was forced to watch them the other night. Just was at a kids swim meet and stuff, and they had a couple games on, but this was one of them when they were playing the Royals. And I was watching Spencer Torkelson at bat. This dude is terrible. Just swinging with his eyes closed, not even close to coming close to hitting the ball. And it's multiple guys here. So I'm definitely not playing the Tigers. I mean, if I had to play one, Riley Green, lefty, righty. Tristan McKenzie does give up, hard contact fly balls. He's the one guy that I think is kind of decent there. And then, the Guardians, another good spot on the slate against Elvin Rodriguez. Like you said, you already went through his numbers. Bad bullpen too here with the Tigers. My man, and this always kills me because I always move off of these Guardian stacks because I hate the bottom of this lineup. It's just Nolan Jones, Austin Hedges, Miles Straw, Andre Jimenez. I don't like play. I'm not going to play those guys. So you're forced to play, Franmil Reyes, who is definitely fine, Josh Naylor, who's fine, and then obviously Jose Ramirez. So probably a 3-man stack for me tonight. They're going to be in that 3-man pool with those other 5-man stacks I was talking about.
Yeah, they called Rodriguez up from AAA. They sent him down there after giving up 7 home runs in 2 games. Could be a spot to look with Cleveland. I know Mangone's not there. What do you got with LA and St. Louis, my friend?
No, I like this game.
Fuck you, Rockies. See, I told you they gave up 3 runs at the top of the 5th. It's so frustrating. Come on, Rockies. All right.
That's very hurtful.
It is hurtful.
We need to turn that around for you with some.
Are we tilting on the show, guys?
There's I just need a run in the bottom of the 5th.
Allowed on the show.
I mean, I'm not going to lose the bet unless they give up another run. Which
you haven't lost the bet yet. You're still around.
I won't lose it if they stay tied, but I want to win. Yeah. When you're up 5-2, you're like, okay, but no, it's Coors Field. All right. So the Dodgers and the Cardinals. For those of you on the bet side, there is a bet that is posted in this game. I'm not going to tell you that because if you want to get the bet side, you're already a member. Get Bets is the code. And if you're not a member and you want to sign up, Get Bets is the code. But it's really hot tonight in this game too, Mangone. And we got some bats in this game. What do you think?
Yeah, I like this game a little bit. So I like the Guardian side the most, but so if I play them, I'm probably actually not playing Jose Ramirez because I'm just mainly doing mini stacks, right? So I think that's one way that's going to already make my Guardian stuff unique in a way. So I just won't be jamming in Jose Ramirez because if I do, well, then I miss out on a really big bat on my other stack, my 5-man that I'm actually prioritizing. So maybe it'll be like a Steven Kwan. Maybe it'll be a Franmil Reyes. Probably not Josh Naylor because Vladimir Guerrero and Matt Olson, again, talked about those 2 offenses. You kind of want those guys. You know who fits really well on the Guardians? Second base is not great for the stacks that I'm looking at. So Jimenez, he looks like a pretty interesting option. Obviously, if you just played Austin Hedges as a 2K punt, which you can punt catcher sometimes, if you're not playing Kirk or d'Arnaud in your 5-man stack, well, that's already a way that you're a little bit different. And there's a lot of good outfield options. Like I said before, there's Reyes, there's Straw. So a lot of ways you can get it unique. And I kind of feel similar with the Tigers. One reason I don't mind is I think Tristan McKenzie's going to gain ownership. On top of McKenzie gaining ownership, that means there's some leverage opportunity. And Riley Green, he's a pretty decent option. Then I can go maybe an Eric Haas who has some power and pop. And that'd be a really unique way already just to differentiate if I wanted to not play an Alejandro Kirk. Now, I'm not saying I will do that, but it's definitely a route that you can go. Another thing I mentioned before with Jimenez and why I didn't think he was a bad option is because now I can go to Jonathan Scope at second base. Scope has some power and pop. On top of that, McKenzie, he's had some troubles against righties, and he can hit some fly balls. I believe he's a fly ball guy too. So only 2.7K. Like a Jonathan Scope, like a Candelario at third base is a 2K punt with like a Victor Reyes at 2-3 or a Riley Green. I just don't mind that. I think it's a really interesting build that you can put together on this slate, and it'll just make you instantly unique, and it'll leverage some of those McKenzie teams too that people are trying to use to save to get in those big bats. So I don't mind some Tigers. I think the Guardians are better than the Tigers, but I definitely think the Tigers are in play today.
What about
only
LA
as mini stacks though for me?
LA St. Louis?
The problem is I can't really play LA because I want to play those other two stacks, right? I mean, that'll just naturally make the Dodgers a little bit lower owned. So if you like this stack a lot, then go to them. You got Jake Lamb for 2.4K with some value. Bellinger at 3.6, Lux at 3.4. That'll help you to be able to get in the Mookie Betts at 6.3, the Trey Turners at 5.7, Freddie Freeman at 5.4, and Will Smith. He's a big bat at the catcher position that's just going to go unowned because he's 5K and everyone else is going to go to Kirk. They're either going to go to Jansen or they're going to go to DRNO instead. So Dodgers will definitely be under owned on this slate. It's 92 degrees. So if you want them as a contrarian stack, I definitely think they're in play today.
Yeah, it is hot. It is hot there. 92, and it should stay in the 90s for most of the game. So, and you got the high humidity in the 60s. I mean, that's even better hitting environment than Washington tonight. AP, want any Dodgers or Cardinals?
Yeah, so I don't see myself getting to this game, but I don't mind the lefty mashers on the Cardinals side. Goldschmidt, Arenado, they feel a little cheap, so I don't mind them. I just, man, big ballpark. It is hot there. I know. I see these teams as spend up teams, and I'm prioritizing Blue Jays and Braves. So those are my spend up 5-man stack teams. And that's, if those two teams weren't on this slate, I would look to a Cardinals. I would look to a Dodgers, but we can't play everyone. I want to make sure my pool is pretty defined on a slate like this. So that's going to force me to cut the Cardinals and the Dodgers most likely tonight.
I am tilting, Brian. Come on, man. You have money on games. Your team's up 5-2. Come on. Of course I'm tilting. Yes, Corey Pooler, I'm tilting too. We got some great breakdowns though. And I want to remind you, 300 likes and you get the plays of the day. 350, you get 2 plays of the day from Mangone. 400, you get 2 plays of the day from AP. And 500, I promise I won't host for a week and a half on the free show. So I'll guarantee, I am going to my sister's wedding next week, so I wasn't going to do it anyways, but that'll guarantee you 100%. Also, let me remind you, while you're doing that, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're up to 9.44 thousand. That's pretty good. We're going to be to 10,000 here sooner than later. I feel like we've been saying this for a while, though, AP. Hoop's going to throw a big party for you. He'll give some shit away. It'll be great. 410 watching right now, 211 on the likes. Let's get the subscribe button as well. And let's get back to these picks. Mangone, the NBA news is coming out in 2 minutes. So I'll ask you right now about the White Sox and the Twins, Sonny Gray and Quinn.
It's not here, Holden. It's hurtful. The news isn't coming. I'm sitting here just twiddling my thumbs. So
it's not 30 yet.
It's no. That's when lock is. I have 2 minutes to adjust.
No, now you're in trouble. All right, let me go to AP because that'll take 2 minutes. Okay, you sit there and you marinate a little bit. AP, White Sox, Twins, Johnny Cueto and Sonny Gray. I don't know if a team has burnt RPS more up and down this season than the Twins, but so be it. Things happen. Do you want anything to do with tonight's game in the Twin Cities?
The only Twin bet I like, and I will play him as a one-off, is Jorge Polanco against a righty. He got it done for us last time. I played him against a righty, and but it didn't matter because my Twin stack sucked. He was the only one that did anything. So I'm done with them. Completely off of this team until they start showing us something. So I'm going to be fully off of them outside of a Polanco one-off. And then, like, you could say the same about the White Sox too. I know I keep saying when I'm on these shows, I'm going to stack them because this team has a ton of upside. Sonny Gray, I don't want to stack against him. So I'm going to be off this game.
Yeah.
What's so funny? What's so funny?
Because we talk about the Twins, dude, and it's
all
like
the time, and it's just
all the freaking time.
And then we like talk ourselves into playing.
It is RPS's kryptonite, and it's totally DC's fault because he loves the Twins. He spent last year giving us the Twins, and it worked. And now all of us are just in groupthink on the Twins, and like I can't even play him anymore. I'll take a one-off I'll take a little Polanco or something. I'm not messing with the Twins top to bottom though. All right, Mangone. Lock has come and gone. Let's go White Sox Twins.
Yeah, I don't want to pick on Johnny Cueto. Not that I think Johnny Cueto is good, but it's like look at Johnny Cueto's game logs. When have you said, oh, it's worked out picking on him? Like, he's just one of these guys. He's older and he finds a way to get it done. He does that little shimmy and he just finds a way. So I just think I cannot go with stacking the Twins today. Again, if you want those one-offs, perfectly fine. Like, there are some power bats, like an Alex Kirilloff for cheap. Don't mind him. A Max Kepler, a Jorge Polanco, a Byron Buxton. But I don't want the full 5, man. I know I just listed 4. No, I just think that they're fine as one-offs or maybe as a mini stack, but I'm not trying to load up on them. Rather stay away. Don't think I need to go there. So not playing them. And I'm not playing the White Sox against Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray can pitch pretty efficiently, more of a ground ball guy. White Sox, don't think this is a good spot for them. So I'm out on this game.
All right. So Mangone, I'm coming right back at you. Wind blowing in at Wrigley, 8 to 10 miles an hour. Carrasco takes on this Cubs team. You got Keegan Thompson, 5.8. I know we don't talk about him, but here's a guy that did a nice little job against the Dodgers. Now he gets to come home. Tough offense with the Mets. But again, wind's blowing in. I like when that happens, and I like those pitchers. So do you want to play any bats from the Mets at the Cubs?
I do not want to play any bats from the Mets and the Cubs. And again, 7.5 total. Wind is blowing in, just not the most ideal spot. Now, the Mets, they are an offense that I typically like the roster. Keegan Thompson, someone that I'd be down to go after, but wind's blowing in, right? I just don't see that really being the route that gets there. I wish this game wasn't really like a wind game, and it was like blowing 5 miles an hour, and it was maybe like 70 degrees like it is, and maybe like the Mets total was around like 4 or 5, right? That way people weren't on it, but if the wind's picked up, it could work out. And the Mets just are an amazing offense anyways, but just seems like there's too much going against them, and it's a 7.5 total. So I think I'm out on this game. Okay.
AP, are you out on this game or are you in on the game?
Yeah, I mean, man, like 7.5 total. I mean, Mangone kind of hit the nail on the head with this one. Wind's blowing in, not like that warm there either. 72 degrees. I'm going to pass on this game. It's not going to be so. Like, what I'm looking for is teams to use for 3-man stacks with the 2 stacks I already talked about. I don't think the Cubs or the Mets are going to fit the bill for me tonight.
Okay. Very good. Where are we? 226 on the likes, 415 watching. Probably got about 15 minutes left in the show. Again, 300, you get the plays. Less than 300, you don't get the plays. Simple as that. Well, we'll continue on here. And AP, I'm coming right back at you with Seattle at Texas. I mean, this Texas offense has been pretty good as of late. Corey Seager got named to the All-Star team. He had homered in 5 straight games, I think, and 6 of 7. So now it's 6 of 8. I mean, listen, yeah, it's a lot. It's 5,600 for a one-off if you don't want to go to Texas, but that dude is just mashing right now.
Yeah, we've seen some runs, be produced in this park too. It's not a park I like at all, but this is going to be one of the spots that I have some interest in tonight. If you look at the Rangers against lefties, 200 ISO, 340 WOBA as a team on the season, and they've really started to heat up too. The numbers look even better. Corey Seager has been phenomenal. Marcus Semien has been awesome too. You got Adolis Garcia. Jonah Heim has been an absolute stud. And then you can even play like a Cole Calhoun. I like him better against, righties, but Marco Gonzalez, like a guy that does give up hard hits, fly balls. And then on the other side too, like Martin Perez hasn't, not a guy we necessarily want to pick on, but he hasn't been that good lately, like at all. And I love this Mariners offense has won me a lot of money this year. They got a lot of pesky bats. Carlos Santana, former Royals, he woke up. He's changed teams and finally woke up. He's been hitting pretty good. But you got Cal Relay too. We talked about catcher, how it's weak. He's a guy that's been a stud all season. So I have a ton of interest in the Mariners here too. Julio Rodriguez, an absolute stud. It's going to be hard to fit him in your lineup though. If you want 2 high-priced pitchers, paying $5.9 for him is tough. So it's a spot I like. It's just going to, I got to figure out how to make it work. So I just like thinking this through. I could take the bottom of the order, like in my Brave 5-man stack. I could take all the cheap guys, Eddie Rosario, Michael Harris, they've actually increased his price finally. Like the guy was like 3-2 forever, 3-3 forever. He's 4-1 now. So that might be a little bit more difficult, but you could take the bottom of the order and then mix in some of these power guys like on the Mariners side or the Rangers. But both of these teams are going to be two teams that I try to get in as far as the mini stack goes.
Okay. I think that's interesting. Are you serious, Beefy Layer? They had to raise the temperature inside from 72 to 75 degrees to save energy? Interesting.
Maybe that's why the ball.
What does 3 degrees do? I don't know.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I don't really know what 3 degrees.
Ask Stevie on the Up to Lock show. I guarantee Stevie Boyd knows.
I won't.
He will have the answer for you.
I won't remember, AP. I'm sorry. If you want to hit me up and be like, hey, ask Stevie, but
I won't remember to hit you up to ask you that either.
Yeah, let's not worry about it then. So let me tell you what's going on here at RPS. Like I already told you, members never win. Nika repping the lady. She won $14K. We've had 3 $20,000 winners in MLB, another $25K. We had a $10K hit in Summer League. I mean, we had a $100,000 hit from one of our subscribers. Going bananas, folks. Going bananas. So make sure you sign up. Fuck you, Rockies. At least I push, but God, man. I mean, that's just absolutely. I fucking hate the Rockies. How was that game the other day, man? Going? You enjoyed going to Coors. It's a great place to not watch baseball and just go hang out and have fun.
That's true. We did not watch much baseball, but I did see Jose Iglesias hit his 1,000th hit. So monumental moment was exciting. But DC showed me the up top. You had to go all the way to the top and check out the view from the I forget what it's called. I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about, right? In the outfield?
The upper deck?
Yeah, but it's not just an upper deck. It's like the Mile High or whatever thing.
Yeah.
It's a cool view.
You get mountains. You get mountains. You
see the mountains. It's a different view from the stadium.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, a lot of heroin pushers these days down by the stadium, though. It's kind of sad. Beautiful park, though. If you've never been to Coors, I highly recommend it. All right, good. 240. So you need 60 more to get some plays. If we don't, we'll give them just to the subscribers today. That's how we're doing it from now on, at least with me, and I think with Hoop and probably Mangone as well. 2 games to go on this slate. AP, I'm coming right back at you here. Reed Detmers against Framber Valdez. So Detmers tonight, I don't know if you want to target him. It is warm with the wind blowing up, but he's actually coming off a pretty good start. He struck out 6, 6, and 7. So even against Houston, we'll see what he can do. And then there's Framber. Like, do we really want to play either one of these guys or any of these guys from Houston and the Angels?
I hate these West Coast games. They rarely they rarely screw you over. They're like fading. Like I rarely am I ever like, gosh, why didn't I stack up? The Astros when they're playing out in the West Coast, like in these bad ballparks, cooler weather environments. So Detmers isn't that great, but like you said, he's been, fine over the short term. And again, like if I'm stacking the Astros, if they fall into that category of like a team, I'd want a full 5-man stack. So I'm not going to get to them tonight. So it's funny going through this because like I'm doing the stacks chart right now. I'll be up soon. Like trying to find my 3-man stacks. I'm telling you, I'm going to have quite a few Cincy stacks in there. Like it's hard. Yeah, Cincinnati, these cheap bats from Cincinnati. And then also, like, I know I said no way I'd play the Tigers, but I think Mangone sold me on them. Some of these bats are cheap. I'm talking 3-man. Like, if those guys, if the 5-man stacks do what we think they're going to do, and then a team like Detroit or Cincinnati that no one's going to play at all, if they can do anything at all, like McKenzie gave up 2 home runs against them the last time he played the Tigers. So they're very familiar with this guy and how he pitches. I could definitely see them getting to him. Akil Baddoo, one of DC's boys, is a flat 2K. So I do think I'm having a bit more interest in those teams just because they're so cheap.
Okay, very good. Mangone, Houston and the Angels tonight. Anything here?
I mean, you can definitely make an argument for Houston on almost any slate. They're up against Detmers. some pretty good options there. Obviously, Pena, he's a pretty good one there. Bregman, Tucker, Gurriel, Altuve, all good options up and down this lineup. It's absolutely loaded, but I just don't have the space from there. That's just kind of one of the problems. And I don't load up on the West Coast games too often. If you want to play the Astros, I wouldn't tell you, if you had a strong take on it, I wouldn't talk you off it, but there's other spots that I just prefer. So no Astros for me.
Okay. No Astros for Mangone. That means we got one game left, and then we'll talk a little bit of stacks. And if you get to 300, we will give some plays. Milwaukee, San Francisco, Mangone. We love both pitchers, Burns and Rodon. One off or nothing?
No, stay away from this game. No, you don't play 6.5 totals. I say we don't play 7, so we're not playing a 6.5.
Not playing a 6.5. AP?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm off this game too.
Yeah. Well, that was simple then. Where are we right now? All right. So 55 likes in about 4 minutes. I don't know if you can do it, but if you want the plays, that's what we got to do. The bumps, I got my $9 back. Come on, man. It's actually more than that. Give me a break. Let's do it. Let's go. We need some stacks, right? AP, favorite stack tonight? Give us 2.
Yeah. This will be like the 10th time I've said this, but Braves and the Blue Jays.
Braves, Blue Jays.
Which is not a hot take, but I don't care. I'm going to be all in on those 2 spots.
Mangone?
Yeah, for me, I'm definitely going with the Jays as my number 1. Braves are one of them, and then my other 2, the mini stacks, are Cleveland and Detroit. So that's kind of what I'm keying in on right now.
Very simple. I mean, we're not getting too crazy here. 248 came up way short today. Very, very disappointing. That's all right. Let me remind you, we'll be back tomorrow. Just for subscribers, it is Fireworks Friday. I think that's what they're calling it now. Is that what it is, Mango and AP? Fireworks Friday?
I think Big T tried to veto that, and him and Helmet went back and forth for quite some time. I don't know who won the battle, but I guess it's Helmet since the name is still Fireworks Friday or Friday Night Fireworks.
I'm on Team Big T, by the way. If I had to pick a side,
Me too.
It was an epic, back and forth, like a big discussion on the name. So
any violence threat?
No violence. No violence.
That's disappointing. To be perfectly honest with you, it would have been nice to see a little bit of that. But we're not going to get it. So we're going to get out of here right now. No plays. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for hanging out. Again, subscribers, come on over about 20 minutes from now. DC, Stevie Boynton, myself. You never know who's going to roll by. It could be Big T. Who knows? I don't know who's stopping by tonight, but there'll be some others in all likelihood. Thank you, Simon, for doing this. Wonderful to see you, AP. You as well, Mangone. I'm Holden. And Simon, get us out of here.